Apple has mega expansion plans in India, and according to sources, Tim Cook is scheduled to meet MoS for IT Rajeev Chandrasekhar ahead of the launch of the Delhi retail store of Apple. Now, Tim Cook is likely to discuss Apple's focus on India as a manufacturer and market. So remember, the first Apple retail store is all set to be open in Mumbai on April 18th, and now Apple has mega expansion plans in India, and according to sources, Tim Cook is scheduled to meet MoS for IT Rajeev Chandrasekhar ahead of the launch of the Delhi retail store. And Tim Cook is also likely to discuss Apple's focus on India as a manufacturer and market. So remember, Apple is planning to expand its business in India, and according to sources, Tim Cook is scheduled to meet MoS for IT Rajeev Chandrasekhar ahead of the launch of the Delhi retail store of Apple. CNN News 18's Yesha Kotak is joining us to give us more details on this. Yesha, what can be expected in this meeting that is scheduled between Tim Cook and Rajeev Chandrasekhar?
So now, in fact, what is being seen is this BKC launch of the first Apple retail store in India actually paves way for the whole for a larger trade opportunities between Apple as well as India. Also, in fact, this store is among the first few stores in Asia that comes up, because we've seen that most of the Apple stores have been in European countries as well as in the US, Dubai apart from that. So now what we see is that, considering Apple has been shifting focus of its manufacturing right from China to India as well, which is where now, considering that on 20th there will be another launch of the Apple retail store in Delhi as well. So Tim Cook, just ahead of that, is likely to meet Rajeev Chandrasekhar on April 19th. Now here the focus will be to ensure that India becomes a manufacturer market for Apple. We've seen that most of the production for Apple will take place in China. Apart from that, India now has been a focus. So which is where now, considering that Tim Cook is in India, he in fact landed in Mumbai yesterday. Today's store launch will take place by him. So which is where he will now speak to Rajeev Chandrasekhar and express the desire and confidence that India could act as the manufacturing and design hub for Apple. In fact, he is going to have a long-term vision sharing in a discussion with Rajeev Chandrasekhar, where the future expansion of made in India Apple products can be discussed. And the long-term plan would be that Apple would have quite a lot of its manufacturing that will take place in India. Now, what we see is that, considering, of course, there were resellers of Apple products that were selling their products in India, but here, the BKC store that we saw yesterday, wherein there was a media preview, there are a wide range of products that are in fact being made available at their store, right from ITV to the arcade, the game zone. Apart from that, the whole music store, all of that is being made available. And in fact, Apple is trying to expand its vision in India with people, with graphic designers and the other artists who focus on Apple-based products. They would be given a hands-on training, a free hands-on training at these stores. So here, what we see is that with Apple coming into India also, with the fact that the store, retail store will be opening today in Mumbai, 2 days later at Delhi. The whole idea is that Apple could be made more available. Of course, it's one of the luxury brands for that matter when it comes to cell phone products. But here, particularly, the focus is that not only manufacturing, but some kind of designing focus could also be brought in towards India, which is where people would be trained in the same aspect. Yes.
All right, Yesha, thank you for giving us all those details. Well, we are slipping in.